right, here we are again. Here we are again. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Another opportunity to join us with Conversations with Geoff, man. I was just backstage with our upcoming guest, man. Boy, I wish we had all day. But we don't. We're not going to keep you all day, but you want to make sure that you dial in right now or catch the replay and share this information. Subscribe to this channel, right? Because we've got a treat for you coming up. I mean, it's just the beautiful thing about this opportunity. We don't take it for granted, right? I mean, I show up here and we bring these folks in here that are professional, successful, and they've carved out the time with the intention of delivering some tools that you can use today, right? If you're that person that's thinking, man, I need to change my life and I'm not sure, or you understand the power of mastering the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself. That conversation, that chatter, right? That yak chatter. Ooh, what do you mean, Geoff? Well, hey, let me just share a quick example of my morning, right? My wife and I love my wife. She's my exercise partner. She's my partner in crime. We do everything together, right? So we're out exercising and we're walking. You know, I had this, we're gonna do 4 miles and we're gonna do that at a quick pace. I got that all set in my head and we were moving, man, right? Getting down. And then we got to the point where I thought we were going to be finished and start heading back to the house. And then she kept going. I'm like, and then right away, that's like, oh no, oh, wait a minute, where are you going? Right? I'm like, oh, and it just went down and you know what? And I took about 10, 15 steps and then bam, it's like, okay, I got to catch her because she was ahead of me, right? So I focused on taking the next step, right? And that chatter got a little quieter. And man, we were moving, right? Because my wife is a marathon runner and I've been able to join her in some half marathons. Now, I didn't run, I walked, but she ran, right? So she's moving, right? But man, that chatter came back a little bit because I got a little winded. So the chatter, the harder the wind, the louder the chatter. But you know what? I knew we were going to stop at some point. And if I could show up and catch her and not complain, how much better will I feel? And I got to tell you, I did all those things, man, and I was on fire after that. So why am I telling you this story? Let you know a little bit about me, but most importantly, let you know, man, that this stuff we talk about is real life, and there are solutions for it, right? We all have the capability to do what I just said earlier, right? Our purpose at Conversations with Geoff is really to help you understand the gift that we have. You know, Napoleon Hill says it best, think and grow rich, right? I always like to say, think, do some work, a lot of work, and grow rich, right? So, I mean, and you're valuable, you're worth having that, right? So listen, right? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Geoff Tyson, and I'm known as the comeback king, man, because of the examples of what I just shared. And this morning, I'm walking with my wife, you know, through athletics, the setbacks there as a struggling infant child in school, not knowing where to fit, wasn't good at grades, to having a great corporate career and having to leave that and all the things around that, man, and then entrepreneurship. So listen, coming back is key, baby. If we get up, if you get knocked down 7 times, you know what happens? You get up 8 times, right? 8 times you get knocked down, you get up 9 times. And that's it. That's the magic, man. Keep showing up, keep getting up, keep coming back, baby. Woo. So anyway, I can talk about this forever. We don't have much time. So let me just get the bio for my guest because, you know, this gentleman, you know, I met him. We were in a group together and I peeped him. Sharp, professional, you know, just a powerful guy, you know, his powerful voice and pure people, right? So anyway, Kevin is originally from Puerto Rico, accomplished insurance professional turned entrepreneur, success coach, and motivational speaker. With a decade of life insurance and financial advising, he stepped out and transformed his career to follow his passion for coaching and inspiring others. He's a believer in education and continuing education, so he's certifications from Jack Canfield Success Principles, Tony Robbins Mastery University, and Maxwell Leadership. These are instrumental in his journey, right? And it also, I think he just released this not too long ago, has a best-selling book, L2 Mindset. I love the title, Elevate Your Life Through Self-Love and Self-Leadership. And this encapsulates who this cat is, right? His philosophy on mindset recalibration is a vital aspect for entrepreneur success. I met Kevin, and he was a semifinalist in the 2022 Great American Speak Off. His dedication to motivating others to break through barriers and achieve their maximum potential was apparent at that time. More than a speaker, Kevin is a strategic partner for entrepreneurs aiming for success. Ladies and gentlemen, help me bring to the stage Conversations with Geoff, Kevin Fernandez, my friend. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Kev?
What's going on, Geoff, man? Thank you for having me, brother. I'm so excited to catch up with you today.
Yeah, brother. Same here, man. And like I told him, we could talk for all day long about the things that you've done and have to offer, man. So really thank you for carving out the time that we have. So, and I know you don't have much time. So, man, in Conversations with Geoff, we like to just get right to it, man. So what's happening with you, brother?
Man, it's an honor to be here. Now I'm excited, man. A lot of things in the works, helping, like you mentioned, helping entrepreneurs and just leaders accomplish their aspirations in life and business. And so I am excited to have this conversation with you and see how we can add value to the lives of your audience, man.
Well, Brian, I know for sure, man. We were talking behind the scenes about some things, and we always want to kind of get to what can help most people, right? I mean, you're a successful guy. You have masterminds with, a diverse group of people and just incredible opportunities for people to do that. So maybe we can talk about mastermind. What about that person out there, Kevin, that we were talking about earlier before we went live? That perspective there. You want to share a little bit about that, in terms of that one person that's sitting on the sidelines, peeking around the corner, thinking they can do it, not sure if they can do it. Because I know you help a lot of people with that, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's something that I'm extremely passionate about, to help people who know that they are meant to be doing bigger things, but for some reason or another, they just find themselves stuck in a situation that, frankly, at times we put ourselves in that situation. And I don't mean to sound harsh or like I don't have compassion, because I have a lot of compassion. I understand that life throws things at us sometimes that we just don't know how to handle. We do our best and we try to figure it out, but sometimes, by our own actions, we get ourselves in a situation where we're stuck and we're not fulfilling our potential. We don't have meaning in our lives, and then we start resenting ourselves, resenting other people who are achieving success, because they're reminding us daily on the things that I gave up on, or the things that I'm not doing that I should be doing. And it's a spiral that just keeps you out, it gets you to drift away from where you're actually meant to be going. And so I just love to empower people to really get back to remembering who they are, their potential. They were made, to do big things in life. Like, we all have the same amount of potential, and it's the way that we think, the way that we act, the way that we show up, that makes the difference in the results that we get for ourselves and for others, the people that we love, and our communities, and just the difference that we make overall.
Yeah, and you use the word recalibrate, and around the reference in your book. I love that, because that's what you're saying, really. I mean, I'm hearing you say, hey, here's where you are now. What is it that you want to do? And what are you willing to do to get there? And I love that, man. And you've done that. I mean, you originally from Puerto Rico. Now, were you born in Puerto Rico, or how did that transition go?
Yeah, man, I was born in Puerto Rico, raised in Puerto Rico. I spent the first half of my life there. After high school, I left to create a successful life for myself. I wanted to do big things. I wanted to prove to myself and to my family that I could, that I was good enough to do, to be successful on my own. And so I always had that chip on my shoulder, like, I'm going to prove you that I can do something. And so left Puerto Rico in 2006. So that was about 17 years ago. I was 18. So almost, right at the halfway point of my life. And yeah, it was a challenge, that's for sure. I mean, I went up north to Providence, Rhode Island. I spent 5 years up there, went to college. Had my mom's cousin, third cousin, lived up there. So I had a little bit of family. I got to hang out with him a few times over the 5 years, but didn't know anybody, had no friends, no family up there other than that. And so it was a challenge. English was my second language. I mean, it still is, but I speak more English now than I do Spanish. But it was a complete 360 in what I did,
Man, I asked that question because we were talking about recalibrating and where you started. Basically, is kind of like what we talked about. I mean, I can imagine. You say English was your second language, and how difficult you had probably in making the transition. Not much family. I don't know how well you spoke English or not, but whatever. I know for me, I would be nervous. If that was me. I would be like, oh man, how do I communicate? How do I fit in and all that stuff, man? And you did that. What can you attribute to one of the key things when you think back on it that just kept helping you get to the next level? I mean, one or two things.
You reference Napoleon Hill's book Think and Grow Rich. So to piggyback on that, Napoleon Hill talks about how we need to have a burning desire to achieve something. If it's not a burning desire, then we're going to give up at the first sign of any setback or issue or problem that we face. And so any adversity is going to throw us back, is going to set us back, right? But when you have a burning desire that, you're willing to exchange your life for that goal, you're willing to give anything up, your time, your money, your energy, your resources, just anything in order to accomplish that thing, then you're going to do whatever it takes to continue growing and getting to the next level. And so that's what it was. I just had this burning desire to become successful. And we all have different definitions of what that success means to us. But I had this burning desire to become successful and to accomplish great things and go back to my family and be like, look what I've done, right? And again, not everybody has the same motivations, but that was my motivation. And so just that burning desire, man, I just couldn't give up. I couldn't quit because I didn't want to go back to Puerto Rico with my tail between my legs. Like, yeah, you guys were right. I cannot cut. I'm not cut out for this. Like, that was not an option, man.
Going home was not an option. I love it, man. Because you mentioned your family. I'm sure, like you just said, they were like, go ahead. Who do you think you are that you can go be successful in America, right? And Steph saying hi and Kimberly giving you loves. And thanks, Steph and Kimberly, for your love and commitment here and showing some love to Kevin, man. So, yeah, boy, man, I just listened to you talk about the burning desire and thinking back about the times and not quitting was not an option. Going home was not an option, man. And so many of us have been in that situation. And I like to remind people that, hey, you've done what he's talking about, what we're talking about. You've done it before in other areas of your life. Yeah. You've made these kinds of decisions, right? It's not like it's a foreign thing for most people, Kevin. But man, when you were talking about that burning desire, boy, it just reminded me. I always like to think about, when I always go about back in the day when you had your first puppy love. You would do anything, whatever it took. You get embarrassed, whatever it took to show up there, man. So we've done it in all areas of our life. So I appreciate that, and I'm glad you had that chip on your shoulder, man, because you have done some tremendous things in the insurance industry. You're hosting a mastermind, that I saw bits and pieces of it and want to be a part of it coming up this year. So you're moving through that. So you get situated, you get in, man, and life's starting to get good. What other little hiccups did you have that are like, oh, crap? Testing that burning desire as you built your business.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody about this yesterday, actually, and I think, a lot of people talk about like the struggles of getting from not having any money, any resources, any clients, nothing, to getting to a comfortable position where you're doing good and you have some money in your pocket and you have a nice car, a nice house and all that. And so over time, I was able to get to that place where I was like, man, I got my white brick house that I've been dreaming about for years. I got the nice white car that I've been dreaming about for years. And so I got to a point where like I had the things that I was dreaming about for years. And so I got complacent. I got complacent like that. Burning desire kind of like went away because it was like, well, I already proved to my family that I could do this thing, right? I got the house, I got the car. And so what I think is a big challenge for a lot of people is not only getting from down here to here, but it's like going from here to here, right? Jim Collins
Yeah.
talks about like uh, going good to great, right? Like going from good to great, how good is the enemy of great. And
Mm.
I think that's something that we don't talk enough about, right? Because a lot of times our burning desire when we grow up in a low income environment, when we come from a place where there wasn't a lot of money or just money for whatever you needed, we come from a place where we're like, I want more money, I want more success, I want more significance. Well, if you're not specific on what you want, once you get something that looks remotely close to what you think it is, then that burning desire kind of goes away and you have to relit that flame, right? You have to really go after it again. And the way that I was challenged to do that is get yourself uncomfortable again.
Yeah.
Get yourself uncomfortable. You know, what does that look like? Maybe maybe you need to sign up for that $25,000 mastermind group. Now that's not mine. You know, my mastermind is not 25,000. One day it will be. Right now, it's not.
Yeah, that's right. That's
You know,
right.
but
That's right.
but you know, like what is that uncomfortable step that you can take to put you on the hook to continue growing and evolving and becoming the best possible version of yourself? Because if you stay complacent, man, that's when we start to die. And I don't mean necessarily like physically and literally, but like our spirit, man. We're meant to grow. We're meant to continue growing so that we can serve others, so that we can give more. I mean, it's a perfect system, right? Like, you know, the universe got created, like everything continues to grow effortlessly, right? That's when you look at nature, everything grows effortlessly. There's a system, like everything is meant to grow and prosper and be abundant. And when we don't have those things, when things are not working naturally like that and effortlessly in our lives, that's because our thoughts are blocking that natural flow of things.
Yes, 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 yes. Because would you agree with this that if we are living in our purpose, there's that energy that won't let us settle. It won't let us become complacent. Would you agree? I mean, because I'm hearing that's what you're saying, right? The thoughts. You know, you won't be thinking about. You'll be thinking about serving other people. You'll be thinking about getting that message out, providing more masterminds, growing your coaching business. Kind of.
Yeah. You know, purpose is extremely important, right? And what I want people to understand is that you don't have to quit your job or what you're doing to go follow your purpose and lead your purpose, right? Like I could have continued growing my insurance and financial advisory practice and fulfill my purpose from there, you know, because my purpose is to make an impact in the life of others and help them grow and achieve their goals. Well, I could have done that as an insurance and financial advisor because I was technically doing that, right? I was helping people with their financial goals specifically, but I had this burning desire to help people with their mindset. In 2017, I went to a seminar in Los Angeles, in LA, called Paradigm Shift by Bob Proctor.
Wow.
And I remember sitting in the audience in this ballroom at this hotel near the LAX. And I remember just sitting there, and Bob Proctor is talking about the mind, the subconscious mind, and paradigms, which are basically a multitude of habits that control our daily lives, and how most people are going through life unconsciously, a little asleep at the wheel, not really making decisions, and letting this paradigm, this internal program, run their lives, even though they don't like the results that they're getting. Anyway, I just found that stuff so fascinating. I remember sitting there like, man, I want to do what he's doing. I just had that feeling, man, that I just developed that burning desire for that. And so, you know, unfortunately, I didn't take action right away. I came back to my my town and talked myself out of it because I let fear get in the way. I was like, you know, why are you gonna go start a new business, something you've never done before? You have no experience on that. Who's gonna pay you? And I just let all these negative feelings run through my head and take over. And I continue growing my insurance and financial practice because that was the logical thing to do. It was already doing well. I had a lot of momentum. Like, why would I stop? So I kept going, man. And 3 years later, 2020, then what happens? COVID hits.
Yeah.
And so I had sold myself on the idea that I was too busy to chase anything else. So
Oh,
when COVID hit, for like a month, I had nothing going on. And so that little voice came back to me screaming, "What's your excuse now not to chase this dream?" And so, Geoff, my man, I had to be honest with myself and just make a decision. Like, if not now, then when?
yeah.
And so I just made a decision. I was like, okay, this is it. And so I went and got certified with Jack Canfield on the success principles. And I started mastering that material. And I had read the success principles book and done the workbook and all the things, but got certified, went through all the training, all the program, all the curriculum. And at the beginning of 2021, I launched my coaching business. And I started doing one-on-one coaching. And after 6 months of that, I had enough confidence to say, you know what, I'm doing good with the one-on-one. Let's try a group. So I started a mastermind group for Success Principles in June of 2021. And it was a 12-month program. And we had about 8 people that joined that program. And they loved it. They loved the content. They loved the results that they were getting in their life. I mean, we had some phenomenal results. We had some people that left marriages. I'm not saying that that people need to leave their marriage or whatnot, but people making big life-altering decisions based on this program because they understood that they were in an environment that wasn't letting them grow and fulfill their potential and follow their purpose and what they were supposed to be doing. We have people quit their jobs and start businesses. We have people grow their income. I mean, all these wonderful things. And so that's what I want people to understand is that when I started the program, I still had some doubt, like, okay, can I do this? Is this going to be successful or whatnot? But if I hadn't taken action, then those people wouldn't have been able to accomplish all the things that they did. But not only that, I wouldn't have given myself the chance to see if I could do something like that and see if I could be successful at that. Once I did and I saw the results, I got the testimonials or whatnot, what does that do? That builds confidence for me because now I'm like, yeah, not only I can do this, but I can do this effectively. People are seeing results and they're paying for this and they think it's a worthwhile investment and they will do it again. They will recommend it to friends and family. So it just built that confidence, which is what we all need to continue climbing higher and higher and higher. In order for us to get to the next level, we need to keep building on our confidence. Our confidence is the foundation to anything. If my confidence is an inch wide and I get a mile up size opportunity, I might be able to start the opportunity, but eventually it's all going to come crumbling down because it's not on the right foundation. So that's self-confidence, that's self-leadership, and that's really what my book L2 Mindset Mastery is all about. Is L2 Mindset stands for love yourself, lead yourself. So when I talk about loving yourself, that's what confidence means to me. When you love yourself, like you do the things necessary in order for you to be true to yourself. In order for you to, you look at your strengths, you look at your weaknesses, because we all have weaknesses. Nobody is good at everything.
That's right. Absolutely.
Nobody is good at everything, right? So sometimes we lack confidence because we set unrealistic expectations in our own head. Like, I want to have the same body as the guy that's at the gym 10 hours a day, but I want to spend 30 minutes at the gym, right? Like
one day a week, maybe.
Like we have to redefine, we have to define and have a clear picture of what success is for us, and then focus on that and give all of our energy and attention to that. And where focus goes, energy flows and results show. And so it's all about getting that clear picture and being true to ourselves, man. Love yourself, lead yourself, take the risk, take the actions required. I remember when I signed up for Tony Robbins Master University for all the programs that were transformational to me. I had to write a check for $15,000. That was a lot of money. It still is, but back then it was a lot of money. It felt like I remember making the payment, and after the excitement of the moment kind of like fell off, I went into panic mode. My body was like shaking, like, what do you do, Kevin? Like, what did you do? So I want people to understand that when you make big decisions like that, it's not gonna feel good in your body. You're gonna feel uncomfortable. You're gonna feel like you're almost breaking into a panic attack. It's just, but that's your paradigm that's trying to keep you comfortable, like going crazy because you're making a big move, a 10x move that is gonna help you get to the next level. So the next time you feel that way, embrace it.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
Ooh. I love that, man, because that's the only way. I mean, you had said so many different things in there. So, folks, if you're just getting this message and you're getting the recording later on, make sure you go back to the beginning and get your paper out and your pen and your pad or whatever you take notes on. But this man is dropping some real fire. I want to just, you said, and we'll continue, but you said something about you had to get uncomfortable again and you had to take action. Life shows up sometimes too, right? And like the COVID situation, you had a month off, you know, I mean, and that voice came back. It never stops. Would you agree? Voices, both of them. You know, but man, you've done these tremendous things, and you spent that $15,000. It's kind of like, you know, my wife and I invested in real estate training, and it was a big chunk of money. And she went in the restroom and cried, right? Because she came back.
It's scary.
You know, but she had confidence that we would get it done and get it paid back, man. So as you share all these wonderful things, man, I'm taking notes. And you talked about confidence, you know, in your book. What is it in your book that you want people to know about? That you talked about love yourself, and so are you saying lead yourself?
Lead yourself, yes. Yeah. From leadership, right? Lead yourself to me. Yeah. So again, the love yourself part is about building confidence. The lead yourself part is about building discipline, taking action even when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, because like you mentioned, you know, Think and Grow Rich is a great concept, but there's a middle section that, you know, they wanted to keep the title of the book something that's catchy, right? So they're not going to say think and grow, think, take action, get rich, all the same, right? So, but in the book, it talks about taking action. That's an important part, right? Like thinking is part of our inner world.
Yep.
Getting rich, our results, is part of our external world.
Yep.
And so action is the bridge.
Yeah, it is.
The inner and the outer.
Yep. And throw that desire in there as the fuel. You talked about desire, burning desire. That's, I mean, high octane. You just dump that in there and you run off of that fuel, man, and nothing will stop you. I mean, nothing, and it's been evident, man. I mean, I've seen. I don't know much about your business, but I see you as a business professional that is genuine. You know, and you've got that. You know, some guys talk a lot, or women talk a lot. Some just show up, and you show up. You know?
Yeah, I mean, talk about getting uncomfortable. Earlier this year in January, we had our first ever L2 Mindset retreat in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
you know,
saw a little bit of that pictures. Yeah, that looked awesome.
And we had a great time. But I gotta tell you, man, like from the moment I announced it to the moment I signed the contract with the hotel to the moment that I arrived, like it was such a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, I had never done it before, so I didn't know what it was going to be like. I'm like, man, are people going to pay for this? What if like 5 people pay? Like, am I going to do this with 5 people? Like, that's not really the experience that I had in mind, right? And so I just had this roller coaster of emotions. But I stuck with it. I stuck with it. And what I'll say is this also. I'm a coach, but I have a coach.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I believe that we all need coaches. Right. And the reason I say that is because through those moments of turbulence, when I'm like a mess in my head, like having those coaching calls with my coach to set things in perspective and kind of like calm me down and keep me focused. Like that was instrumental. That was instrumental. So a lot of people that you see out there, they're doing all these big things and whatnot, and they're doing great things. So you're like, man, how did they do it? Well, I guarantee you, all those people have an internal team of support.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Support system.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no doubt. And they have coaches and they have mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I've had mentors for years. I've had coaches for years, sometimes different coaches. Sometimes are coaches that are specific to my personal life, personal development. Sometimes it's for business, business strategies. Sometimes it's a combination of the two. So, you need to figure out what is your next big move that you want to take and see what is that going to require of you. Where do you need to level up? What skills do you need to get? And based on that, then go out there and find a program, a coaching program, mastermind group, a digital program, a book. I mean, there's no excuse. Like any book you can get for $10 to $20, right? So at the very least, go grab a book on something that is going to help you level up. But if you really want commitment, if you really want to show that you're committed, not to other people, but to yourself, right? When I wrote that check to Tony Robbins' company, I was proving to myself that I was all in.
Yeah.
And that builds confidence, because what builds confidence is not doing the easy things, it's doing the hard things, right? Because when we have the belief that no matter how hard something may feel, I'm still going to take action, that's where the ultimate confidence comes in. That no matter how difficult the situation is, no matter how difficult the decision is, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to make it happen.
And I love that. I love that. I'm thinking in my head when I'm listening to you, it's like, it's possible. Know that it's possible and take the action, right? And the beautiful thing is everybody has that capability, no matter where you are right now, no matter where you're sitting right now. The beauty of that, and why Conversations with Geoff is so excited about having folks on here like you, Kevin, is that, your book talks about it. L2, self and lead. I mean, man, what a tremendous thing. So, look, man, we're already at the end of this thing.
Man, this flew by.
So how do people get a hold of you? I mean, what do you got? Anything going on coming up that they want to be aware of as we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, absolutely, man. People, anyone can go to l2mindset.com. That is letter L, number 2, mindset.com. There's a button at the bottom of the page that says to schedule a call with me if they want to learn anything about our program. So we have mastermind groups. We have the Puerto Rico retreat coming up in January. We're doing it again, but this time I'm not as nervous because I've done it before, right? So that's what confidence is all about. You got to do the hard things so that then hey, I can figure this out. So we're going to do the Puerto Rico retreat again this year. That's an annual thing. But yeah, we have our mastermind group. That is a group of successful entrepreneurs and like-minded leaders that come together virtually every other week and exchange ideas with each other on how to achieve their goals, whether it's personal or business. And it's a powerful group of people. And that is something that I encourage everyone to have in their lives, a community like that, whether that's with us at L2 Mindset or that's another mastermind group. It's well worth it. My insurance business from 2017 to 2019 tripled. And the main factor was I joined a mastermind group those 2 years that was in my insurance business. And what I learned through the people in that group allowed me to triple my income in 2 years. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened without the group, but it would have been, I don't know, it would have been challenging. I don't know how else I would have gotten that specialized knowledge, that information to make that quantum leap. So I encourage anybody, l2mindset.com. Will love the opportunity. And if anything, just go on Amazon and pick up a copy of the book. I think you'll love it. L2 Mindset Mastery. Elevate your life through self-love and self-leadership. So, Geoff, this has been a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me here today, man.
Hey, man, we waited for something that we knew was going to be dynamite, and you didn't do anything other than over-deliver, my friend. So
I'd love to hear that, man. Thank you.
And I would just say, add a plug. I saw some of the pictures on the mastermind event that you guys did, and I was like very envious because I wasn't there because it looked fantastic.
Well, join us next time.
I wrote it down to make sure we figure out whatever that investment needs to be so that we can be there. So, I mean, you really came out. It looked powerful. So Kevin, thank you so much for being you, for showing up and dropping just a ton of stuff here. And we'll catch you again next time.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Great job, man. Hey, listen, I once again, I hope you realize that the folks that we bring on here are purely intended on dropping some nuggets for you to be able to change your world right now, not tomorrow, not later, but right now. I mean, he talked about finding a burning desire, right? What is it? What is it that you really want? You know, he talked about being a little nervous about making the transition, but he found out, he got uncomfortable, he found reasons. All these things in here, go back and listen to this again and again and again. I want to thank our guest today, Kevin, because he just, what you see is what you get, right? So as I wrap up this thing, his information is in the chat. My information is in the chat. And I want to welcome everybody that's new to the community. And those of you that have been following us, thank you, thank you, thank you. Those of you on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all the other platforms that we show up on. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your commitment. And let us know how we're doing, right? I mean, we are here to serve. Our mission is to impact 1 million people with the power that they have, that they possess, that think and grow rich. Like Kevin and I said, though, think, take some action, grow rich, whatever it is that you want to have in your life. So as I wind this thing up, I always like to say, do me a favor, pick one word that you're going to stop using, that every time you say it, it's like, oh man, it just has a negative impact on you. It takes energy away from you. What's that one word or one phrase that's just like haunting you, right? My word is try. Man, I've always worked on not using that word. Somehow I've been I fell into the rut where I'll try this, I'll try that. So that's my word. And I'm really, it doesn't come up as much, right? And I think I said, I don't put my jar for the try in the other one, but find something that works for you. Go back and listen to this, subscribe to the channel, reach out to me. We've got some really cool things we're working on. For those of you that need more information about how we can help you, and check out my friend, go get his book. I'm gonna get it too. And for the first 2 people that reach out to me and say, hey, Geoff, I saw Kevin's show, first 2, we'll send you a book. All right, so that's the challenge for you today. Let us know, reach out to me, and we'll send you a book. Only 2, right? Because it's a powerful book. I'm not gonna buy 100 of them, but I will get you 2. All right. All right. Hey, listen, thanks again. Pass this information on, subscribe, and chat. At you later. We'll see you in a couple of days.